Hey everyone, this is Aaron again here, Coffee Chug Books, for those that know me online. And this tip is another amazing tip I think can make our lives a lot easier. It's going to require a little bit of learning and a little bit of crowdsourcing, but together we can create something really powerful. And so one of the things that I know that comes up is with Google Docs and Drive or whatever format or template we're using is how to give feedback and what's too much feedback, what's not enough. But more importantly, on the teacher side of things, it takes forever to leave quality feedback. And so, what are some ways to streamline this process to enhance how we give feedback in a quicker way without losing the power of authentic feedback itself? And so, one way in which we can do this is I have a Google Doc opened up here. And what you can do is go up here to Tools. And if you go down here to Preferences, what you're going to see is a list of commands or shortcuts that automatically happens. Now these are things that Google already uses. And so you can see here, for example, that if you were to type this combination right here, it'll automatically convert it to a copyright. So if I were to add that, you can see that it automatically converts. And so the reason I share this with you is you can create your own. And so let's pick here, I had made this one earlier, that when I type a question mark, it's going to insert this command here of unclear. So let's say that I'm editing our Paw Print Press form here. And let's say this is something that a student put together. And I could say like right here, in this passage, this looks a little unclear. So as opposed to typically writing insert a comment, typing all information, or leaving something within the document, I can now use my shortcut, put a question mark and hit enter. Oh, excuse me. And away we go. And the reason it's not working because I don't think I actually clicked on the option. Okay, sorry. So let's try this again. So now you can see the unclear piece right here. So think about this when you're editing paper. You could have whatever you want. I can type in pun, and this could be equal to punctuation error, or whatever I want it to be. And so as I'm going down here, let's go ahead and undo this. And say like I don't want that exclamation there, I could just type pun and enter, and it's going to mark this. Now the reason I put it in brackets is because I want kids to be able to see it, because it's the same font color obviously, so they have to go back in their work. It's going to focus and force them to kind of read through the stuff and then find the information, which I think is going to be helpful. And then you can turn these on and off. So if I'm going to go back and I'm doing regular typing and I'm writing like a paper or working on a blog post, whatever it might be, I don't want this to pop up every time, so I can just turn that off. And I could turn this off as well. So you can pick and choose when you want these on. And you can make these whatever it is that you want. And so that's one way if you're editing a paper, you can actually have a quick shortcut, whatever shortcuts you want, into the document for those to quickly embed in there. The other thing that you can do is this, is a master list of comments. And this is where the crowdsourcing piece comes in. What I've done is a document, and I'll share this out and leave it in the comments below or in the notes, but we can have a running link of comments. And so, I think back as a teacher, one of the things that always was there time and time again was the citation. So if I could just have a standard set of comments that I know I leave in documents all the time, then I could go back right here and I could insert a comment, and I could just copy and paste those, boom, away we go. And I could insert these. What I thought we could do as teachers is we could start to crowdsource these. And so a header one font size for categories, and we could add and use our own master list of comments, and we could build these out, and we could use one another to enhance. One of the tips that I thought was really powerful from an educator, Caitlin Tucker, where this idea came from, was a lot of times, especially with grammar and punctuation or in your comments, you could have links to YouTube video tutorials. So if I'm going to say, punctuation error, comma used incorrectly, I could then, in that canned comma, have a link to a YouTube video showing how to use the grammar. And so this site here, this grammar.me, is a website loaded with tons of videos, and you could actually link those. And so I have it there as a support in case you want to use that. So I hope you find these two things helpful as you're trying to edit and give feedback. What we can do is, one, go to the preferences, create your own shortcut commands for editing, so kids have to go through and find that and make it work. Number two, let's add our list to this master list of comments that we can all use some of these canned comments, and then it's just a matter of copying and pasting, which would make life easier. The third little quick tip, if you wanted, some people like to have a different font. You don't want to go and have to change the font every single time. What you can do is, if you're in someone's paper, you can switch from editing to suggesting, and then when you type, it makes it a different font color. It kind of shows it as a suggestion, and it stands out a little bit differently. So those are your three options there for you. Tools, preferences, create your shortcuts, turn them on and off as needed. Number two, a master list of comments that you know you use time and time again. You can copy and paste, add YouTube or other kind of video links as guides and resources. Number three, you go up to suggesting and it just looks different for them. It stands out in a different way as opposed to editing or always leaving comments. Hope you find these helpful. If there's other tips, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you streamline your process to be more effective as an educator and help enhance the learning of students.